Hello one and all at Cymatic TV. How you doing? How's the energy with you? We're going to be going through a few things today. Firstly, we're going to be going through that solar flare that was supposed to hit this week. It hit a couple of days ago. I'll be showing you some details on that. Also, I'm going to be answering a few sort of comments that I've been having on this channel, but also on my sister channel, which is called the Astro Flower. People talking about the weird wobbly energy. What's going on with the weird wobbly energy? I've been feeling it. I think most people have been feeling it. So we're going to be going to that as well. And also today I thought I'd give you a little bit of an insight of how I use the energy lines in order to help me in my life. Help me emotionally, physically, materialistically, in all aspects of it. So we're going to be going through that as well with a little meditation. Welcome to Cymatic TV.
Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality.
So first things on is the solar flare that came through the other day. I was talking about it in the energy update which I did last week, and I thank you very much for watching that, and all the support you give to this channel is absolutely brilliant. Lovely to see so many people connecting with the energies. Yeah, so there was the solar flare that did come through. I think it came through on the Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and it did create a bit of a ripple in the energy of the earth. Nothing really too much to write home about. There was a little bit of plasma activity as well, which created a aurora borealis, but nothing too major that we've seen in the past. And you might have felt like on the Tuesday and the Wednesday, like the energy sort of dropping out. It was almost as if like the energy was preparing for this intake of this solar flare, as it were. And the Earth does that. It's sort of as if there's a big solar flare that sort of comes in our direction. There's a lot of oxygen in the higher altitudes of the atmosphere, and the Earth uses it as a sort of defense mechanism, if you like, and it sends out that oxygen to meet that hydrogen coming from the sun, and it gives out a bit of a shock wave through the Earth. That's how it does it. And as this oxygen obviously goes towards the hydrogen, it creates water. And NASA have said in the past that yes, if there was a big solar flare, there's enough oxygen up there to make it rain for 40 days and 40 nights. Seems like a familiar story. Yeah. So that you might have felt like the energy was sort of stopped and braced itself more than anything else, and you might have felt like there was a little lull in the vibration, as it were. Now this comes on to our second story, which is about these comments that I've been receiving about wobbly energy and stuff like that. Yes, energy is incredibly wobbly, and it's been wobbly for some time now. And I don't see it getting any better. If anything, it's going to get more sort of choppy in a way over the next few years. The reason for this is several. First things first, pole shift. As pole shift, as we go further into pole shift and we lose a lot more of our magnetic field of the Earth, which we must have lost at least 35, if not 40% over the last 150 years or something like that. So 150, yeah, around about 150 years. So, you know, that intensifies the energy. So the moment you get a ripple in the energy, we're going to feel it. And then you're going to feel the ups and downs of that energy that's coming through through the earth and around us as individuals. The individual part is really important. Obviously, we are all going through various things in our life. No one is exception to this. We all go through the ups and downs of energies on a daily basis, as it were. And obviously, it depends on how we set ourselves up. And I recommend a tea meditation first thing in the morning, just to get into alignment with your needs and your wants, and then also get into alignment with your pleasures around you. Now, your pleasures consist of color, temperature, odor, taste, shape, sound, texture, and temperature. Once you start to notice these things around you, you can feel where energy is encouraging you to sort of go forth and enjoy the day, as it were. And it's also being able to understand is when energy sort of slows down in order you to readjust and see what you need to do and what you want to do, just to so you can keep up to plane or up to level of what we should be doing during the day, basically. The other thing is, at the end of the tea meditation, it's a case of putting all the energy back into our body, because that is what we use to think with. We don't use to think with our minds, we use the logic of our minds, and that is part and parcel of the energy of the rest of our body. And in order to do that, I imagine a soap bubble on top of my head and allow it going down my back, so it gradually goes down to my toes, pops on my toes, and then that sets me up for the day. So that's the sort of thing as well that you can sort of take into account for the wobbly energy. We did just go through the eclipse energy as well on the 13th, and we do have the lunar eclipse coming through on the 28th as well. So that could have certainly something to do with it, because they are shifting times, and I've done many videos on my sister channel, the Astroflower, concerning these sort of changes that come through during each eclipse. So that could have certainly a tie into it, but it is a case of the energy going back and forth, up and down, and etc. And we've got to learn to ride it like a wave, like a surfer in a way, I guess. That's the best way to do it. And yes, sometimes when it's low, it just often means that we can get on and do the mundane things in life, get the necessities out of the way, basically, to keep on track of where we're going. Okay, the third thing I want to go into today is, how do we use these lines in order to help us in our personal aspect of it all? First things first, I'm just going to douse the lines, and we're going to go through what the different types of lines can help us with. First things we've got to learn about energy is that it is usually bipolar. I said usually, it always is bipolar. So it's either negative or positive, positive or negative. You can call it masculine and feminine. You can call it sort of yin and yang, whichever you choose to symbolize the opposing forces in the universe. And there is a real difference between the two. On the female line is much more of a horizontal energy, and this corresponds to our emotional chakras, which I go into on my workshops. And the male line is much more of a vertical energy. What a surprise. And that's much more to do with the raison d'etre of our life, of what we should be doing, or when we should be doing it. A very practical sense. It connects the crown and the root chakra, basically, on those sort of lines. So that's why males tend to be very, yes, I'm not going to go into that, I guess. But yeah, there's a real difference between the lines, and this is where we can, once we understand that, we can start using the energies of each of those types of lines in order to see a situation clearly. So today I'm doing work. I'm also doing this video just because I'm also sorting out other stuff. But I'm doing work on my channel, doing work on sort of my online courses that I'm preparing. And you know what it's like. Sometimes in life you come to a point where it's just a little bit difficult to get over. And things seem to sort of stuck, and maybe I've been doing it too long and trying to concentrate on one thing too much and stuff like that. And I've taken those sort of considerations into account. But now I'd like to get the energy or the advice of energy. Now, energy is fantastic because energy doesn't have an agenda, basically. It doesn't support one or the other. It doesn't say, oh, this person's good and this person's bad. That's not how energy works. Energy is there to do the experience or the exploration into who we are, what we do, and what emotions we have, and what connections we have with everything else. It likes to explore every avenue of possible life. So it doesn't actually bring an agenda to the party. It brings more of a case of an outside view and a very sort of matter-of-fact view. So it's not emotional per se. And when we get something that is helping us without its emotions tied into it, we can see very clearly. It also helps us tighten our emotions according to the situation, because we're not having emotions imposed upon us by the energy. It will explore energies or emotions within you, and it will push those emotions within you, because that's what energy does. It likes to explore. So the first things first, we're just going to go onto the female energy line. So as you can see, I'm at the back end of the church, and this is where the energy sort of goes out. Female energy goes out through there. So first things first, I just need to sort of adjust, relax, and connect with the energy that is here, and then start feeling where it's touching me most, where I feel it most within me. And it may be different for everybody who comes on this line, who feels this energy at this moment, because it's according to how you connect to the energies, as it were. So as I connect to the energies, without going through the sequencing and everything like that, which I do on the energy updates, which you'll have on Sunday, here we get much more of the throat energy that's coming through. So obviously, I've had a few sticking points, as I said, dealing with my online workshops, dealing with just a lot of things I've got to do. There's a lot of administration stuff coming through, and it just sometimes just makes it a little bit too mechanical and a little bit too sort of materialistic. So, in that, we lose a bit of fun, and so we don't communicate as well with the people around us. So I'm understanding here, in order to get past this sort of hump in the road, because it's no more than that really, I obviously need to communicate. I obviously need to speak a bit more with the people that are around me, that I'm connected with physically on a daily basis, just so it gives us a bit of clarity. And also, it's saying the lower sacrum as well. So it's sort of saying, be real about it. Don't just talk to sort of say, hi, have a nice day, how you doing, and everything like that. It's really talking about how you feel, and giving people good information about what's going on in your own sort of emotions and your own body, and so forth. So that's the other thing I'm getting of it. And it's also giving me the third eye now to sort of say, what's the message coming through from that? Through discussion and honesty, you will get the clear conversation. You get a clear vision about where you're going. That's what it's saying to me here. And be easy on yourself as much as be easy on the other people around you. I think energy is very nice like that. It does tend to sort of say to you, be easy on yourself, because life is tough as it is. We don't need to add to it, really. It should really be fun the majority of the time. And yeah, sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's hard. But it's finding in that hard moments that sort of confidence that we have all within us if we look for it, and that also the courage as well. Courage breeds confidence. Confidence happens or is created over time as we do things. So as I go to the coast and I go up a cliff, this cliff is 5 meters high. When I jump off the cliff for the first ever time, I need my courage in order to do that. Once I jump off that cliff, and then I can swim to the shore, I go back to the top of the cliff, and then I have the confidence, because I've already done it once, to just do it again. And I think this is one thing as well, is where the solar plexus comes in, is once the communication starts, then we've got the confidence to actually explain more and the deeper and inner feelings and stuff like that. So obviously that's emotionally how I should approach the situation. What we're going to do now is going to go over to the male line and just go back to the male line, because we were just on it, and just see now where the material, where the vertical energy plays into this, where we find the righteous path in what we should actually do. So I've just come back to the male line, and the dogs start barking. There's a crow that's talking. Okay, so now it's starting to hit my solar plexus. I'm just getting a bit of information from the crow. And the crow is, I don't know if it's a crow, it seems like a crow to me. It's just up over there. It's very repetitive in the way it's speaking. It's almost as if it's saying one step in front of the other. Now, I keep giving that out as advice, and probably I should take my own advice. One step after the other. It's maybe a case of doing one thing after the other. My solar plexus is really kicking in here. So let's just connect to that energy and let's just see what's going on. Let's just see. Okay, it's playing into my shoulder and into my right hand shoulder and into my forearm on my left hand side. So it's the message, and there's my solar plexus again, kicking in, and it's kicking in much more on the left hand side. It's almost as sort of saying to me, yes, life is not always easy, and sometimes you've got to knuckle down and get to it. And doing, like it was saying on the female line, this is where they combine together. Like doing one thing after another. Once you start doing it, then the things will start flowing again. It's a little bit like writer's block that I'm dealing with at the moment. It's not that bad, because I have written books, and yes, I have experienced a degree of writer's block. Not very bad, thankfully, and you can find my books obviously on roundabout. But so it's similar to that basically. So let's just get back, and it's sort of saying you've chosen to shoulder this. That is true. I'm a martyr to myself, I guess. I've been doing this energy work now. I'm going to be putting out a video on the well that I've been dowsing in the Pyrenees because someone's been having problems with springs on their land, just water coming out on the land all over the place, and we need to sort it out. So I'll be doing a video on this, and you know, I've been dowsing energy now for over 30 years. Been doing healing for, you know, as much as time, and seen a lot of people in my healing, and that's helped me enormously. And sometimes, yes, it's a case of just going on, and I've decided, getting back to, I'm waffling again, and I sorry, that was that throat chakra over the lady line. Yeah, I've decided to shoulder the this responsibility to put a bit of clarity back into energy, because there's a lot of people in the energy world that is very imaginative, let's put it that way, and forget about our connection to nature and the cycles of nature and the simplicity of it all, really, more than anything else. Here's that crow just kind of saying, now you're talking, now you're talking. The other one was sort of saying, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. And one foot after the other. So yeah, it's, you know, and I've shouldered this, and this is what this right hand shoulder, and it's, you know, there is a lot of administration, there's a lot of work that goes in behind all of these videos that I do, a lot of understanding, a lot of work of dowsing and healing and what have you, which I was talking about earlier on, and I've chosen to shoulder that. Now my forearm on my left hand side, that's more of a case of forearm to forewarned, but with your heart. So basically, you know, I have to infuse my heart's passion that I have for energy and the understanding of energy. That's just really important. If we can really start to really truly understand it, rather than just sort of playing with ideas of that, you know, you can do anything with your mind, you can't. You're also an animal. We are all animals. A planet is a planet. you know, and you've got to work with what you've got, you know, and so it's working with the body is really important. And I think here is a case of pushing my forearm, pushing my strength of my passions, my heart's desires, to explain or explore with you, with us together, how energy can really help us. So this is giving me this raison d'etre, this reason for doing what I do. And it makes me believe in myself again, funnily enough, this energy that I'm sitting on. So with this sort of like new belief in what I should be doing, I'm now going to go back and head back on to the work that I was having problems getting through earlier on today. So yes, there you go. I hope you actually enjoy these sort of videos about sort of energy and stuff like that. If you do, don't forget to put up a like, share it across all platforms. That really helps out, apparently, on this YouTube algorithm sort of malarkey. That's really good. Obviously subscribing and clicking the bell and what have you like that. And if you've got any ideas, if you've got any comments, please do put them in the comments below, because I do answer pretty much every single comment, and I do read every single comment because I'm interested about life. It's just absolutely great. Yeah, I will see you on Sunday for the full energy update, where we'll be getting a message from the earth, the chakra sequencing, and talking about various other things to do with energy and how it connects with us. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.